Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Well, I had a technical issue. Suddenly, OBS has had an update, and apparently, I can adjust the volume of my microphone a lot more than I used to be able to, which is amazing. For a few of you who are like, what is going on? Before I could not change anything, but now I actually can. I'm hoping this means that you guys get a slightly better volume control at your end at YouTube. Would you believe it? I had to turn it right down to about half. Otherwise, it was going to blow out. I'm going to put up a poll. Feel free to take part in that poll. And you're going to go from here. And this was a result of a Windows update, not a OBS update. So it must have been Windows that was messing with OBS and then, of course, affecting YouTube. It's so strange. Right, grab some food, some drink. We're going to make some magic items today. We've got a limited time, so we need to get cracking, don't we? Get some food, some drink together, and let's make this happen, shall we? Hi, welcome to HowtoRPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about how to go about making, creating, crafting, whatever you want to call it, home brewing your own gloves, or magic gauntlets, things you stick on your hands. We've done rings. We're not doing rings today. We're doing gloves and gauntlets, and it should be very interesting. I have kind of cheated. I started early, so I wanted to knock out a lot of the things I knew people would put forward as a suggestion. I wanted to get them out of the way, and so I started putting those down so I don't have to go over them. This is basically what's going on here. So it'll be an interesting. I think gloves is a really nice way to sort of get things done. Like, there aren't that many gloves or gauntlets in terms of magic items, so we could definitely do with more. No glove, no love. Hello, Wizards and Warp Drives. Hello, Nacho. A patron of the channel and a subscriber. Thanks for being here. So give me your magic item ideas. Otherwise, I'll be working on some stuff myself. Since I've already got started, I will share what I have. What have we got here? So, what are your magic glove ideas? And I'm going to focus on things that are common in terms of power level. Sort of cantrip, level 1 sort of stuff. And a lot of the time you'll notice that when I design them, I will tend to try to make them so they can be used for 5e, 4e, version 3, version 2, AD&D, first edition, basic D&D, and my new favorite game, which is basically just D&D, Shadow Dark. I'm very much into trying to make sure there is, I guess, D&D adjacent or as agnostic to D&D or a clone of D&D as possible, okay? Or any system. Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. So, common, so let's just hashtag common magic items, please. Okay, you said gloves of spider climb. I expected that to be a response from people. So I have already preempted and got myself ready for that one. Because it's such an obvious one that it's going to come up. And yet they never created gloves of spider climbing, did they? No, they didn't. So this is the first one that I did. I was working on this morning just before the live stream. Had a few minutes spare, and then of course suddenly my OBS went out of control and I had to make adjustments to my sound, but I'm still happy about the adjustment. It's good. I can now adjust that little dial. Lightning gauntlets. It's a wondrous item. I think it should be common. I'm going to require attunement, and so when you use an action while wearing these gauntlets, lightning springs from your fingertips. Make a melee spell attack against the target, which I suppose, if you're using Shadow Dark, would just be a spell casting check. And on a hit, the target takes 1d8 lightning damage, and it can't make opportunity attacks until the start of its next turn. The problem, I guess, I have with opportunity attacks is I don't care for them. It's there. It's basically shock and grasp, right? but I can't stand opportunity attacks. So referring to an opportunity attack and a magic item for me is probably not my go-to. So on a hit, the target takes 1d8 lightning damage. End of story. Yeah. If you want to make yours that have, takes away that opportunity attack, that's fine. For me, I couldn't care less. So, yeah, making it really simple. And then Mountaineer's gloves, because we had Mountaineer's boots. So I wanted to have Mountaineer's gloves. Wondrous item, common, requires attunement. And while wearing these gloves, you have advantage on any ability check required to climb any surface. It's not spider climb. It just means you get advantage if you have to make a dice roll, basically. That's really all it's trying to do. It's a pretty basic piece of equipment. I guess when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, and he's climbing up the side of the building with those shitty techno gloves that make you stick onto the wall, but really they don't really work that well. And then we have, as Wizards and Warp Drives is thrown in, gloves of spider climbing. So this is a wondrous item. This is uncommon. You're not going to see a lot of these today. But I put it in there because I knew it was going to be the first thing somebody would say. So with these gloves, you gain the ability to move up, down, and across vertical surfaces and along ceilings, but your hands are not free. Okay? You also gain a climb speed equal to your speed, so you can climb fast. Okay? Gloves of craft elements, which is basically shape elements, but with a little bit of a difference. So wondrous item, common, requires attunement, and while wearing these gloves, you can use an action to cause dirt, sand, small stones, fire, smoke, mist, or water that can fit into 1 foot cube to form a crude shape when you touch the element. Is that a good sentence or not? Water, okay, no, they can fit into 1 cube to form into crude shapes when you touch the element. Okay, so it's a little bit different to what we had done before. We had something that was sort of like shape elements. I can't remember, is it a staff? I think it was. So I've made it a little bit, you have to touch the thing, okay? Then I've been doing a lot of gardening. In my semi-retirement, working only 3 days a week, I spend a lot of time in my garden. And so I felt like I had to make a magic item, and I don't know if it should be a common magic item, but I need to have a magic item that was around gardening. I know, people, it's weird. So while wearing these gloves, you can use an action to instantly make a flower, plant, or small tree grow in dirt. Now, I didn't put a range on it, and I think maybe I should restrict the range, so there should be a distance, so I don't want them to be able to get too close. I really want you to touch the dirt. I want you to get your fingers with your gloves into the dirt. So I think that's part of this item needs to have a little bit of an adjustment. So, and maybe the height. Maybe I need to stipulate the height. I said small tree, small plant, small flower, but maybe I need to be a bit more precise. So I'll do that. Make action to instantly make a flower, plant, or small tree grow in dirt that is a maximum of 5 feet tall. Okay, while wearing these gloves, you can use an action to instantly make a flower, plant, or small tree grow when you touch some dirt that is a maximum of 5 feet tall. Okay, I think, again, I don't know that this is necessarily a common magic item, so I'm going to put a yellow mark on this, because I might need to readjust this. This might actually be more of an uncommon magic item, now that I think about it. So, I've got a few. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 5. So let's see what chat is cooked up, and then we'll come back here and I'll continue to work my way through. We'll see if we can get 25. That would be good. 30 would be better. But yeah, I'm kind of curious as to what people have cooked up for today. So let's find out. Bum bum bum. Should be an interesting one. Anyway, what have we got here? What are the gloves of the Legendman Mage Hand? Mage Hand. Oh, Mage Hand. Okay, so turning Mage Hand into gloves. I actually agree. I think that's pretty sensible. Be great for a heist. Yeah. So, yes, pretty obvious that that's one that we need to consider. So, I'll do that. Let's do that. That's fine. And I know how much you like heists, wizards and warp drives. So, yeah, let's get the heist going. The heisty-weisty. So if I go down here, and can I find Mage Hand fairly quickly? I'm going to go through the cantrips. Dum 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 dum. Mage. Here we go. This is Mage Hand. This is the legacy one, and this is the non-legacy one. Okay. I hadn't considered this. I hadn't really considered the possibility that there are 2 different versions now, and I don't want to bother with the new version, so I'm going to take the old version, Legacy. Sorry, people. The spectral hand thing. Okay, so this is a bit more complicated. Paste. Let's do that. Bring this all together. I'm going to make some adjustments here, of course. Always do. And here we go. So we'll just take this, copy, and paste. Paste. Gloves of Mage Hand. So Mage Hand, Mage Hands, Mage Hand, Mage Hand. And I just need to make some... I just need to tinker, don't I? A little bit of a tinker. Get it right. While wearing these gloves, you can use an action to... conjure a spectral hand. Just conjure a spectral hand and that is and then a spectral hand that is within 30 feet. Okay. Is within 30 feet. So get rid of that. Forget about the duration. There is no duration. I'm not putting a duration on this. It's just the spell has a duration. I know. A duration 1 minute, but I don't know that there's much point. The problem with not putting a duration, let me think about this. The problem with not putting duration is that you really only need to activate it once, and then spectral hand is always there. There's the problem, isn't it? So you do have to have a time frame on it. Okay. The hand lasts for the spectral hand lasts for 1 minute, or until you dismiss it as an action. Fine with that, which you're probably not going to do. The hand vanishes if it is even more than 30 feet away from you, or if you cast the spell again. Okay, so we don't want to be casting more than one or creating more than one, so I think this is probably necessary to retain. Hand vanishes if it is more, if it is more than 30 feet away from you, or if you cast the spell, or not if you cast the spell, if you so we don't want to say cast a spell. What we want to try and say is you can only have one spectral hand. Okay, while wearing these gloves, you can use an action to conjure one spectral hand that is within 30 feet of you. The spectral hand lasts for 1 minute or until you dismiss it as an action. The hand vanishes if it is more than 30 feet away from you. Or you try to conjure a second spectral hand. Okay, got that. You can use your action to control the hand. You can use the hand to manipulate an object, open and unlock an unlocked door or container, start blah blah blah, that's all fine. Containers, so you can move the hand up to 30 feet each time you use it. The hand can't attack, activate magic items, or carry more than 10 pounds. So that's really just mage hand turned into gloves. A pretty obvious thing. I'm sure all of you are quite capable of doing something like this. And yeah, it's mostly there. Okay, all right. So let's take another aspect of this and see what else we can do. So I've done this one. I want to go through the list of magic items that we have for this, but the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to just go through all of the different cantrips and level 1 spells and see how much we can get out of it. How much can we drain from this as a resource? Okay, let's have a look. Any more ideas? Oh, Shy X, here we go. Dancing gloves. When you move, you can bring up 2 creatures if you have a free hand for each unwilling creatures. Dancing gloves. I think we had, didn't we have dancing boots? I think we did dancing boots. I don't think, I'm not sure I get the dancing gloves. Kitchen gloves. Oh my gosh. Resists fire damage. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I don't know about resistance. I think we just say you can't be burned by fire when you touch something. I think that's probably easier. Kitchen gloves. It's funny. But yeah. Paste. Let's see if I can turn that into something. And you've got here iron bangles. +1, +2, +3, and armed strikes. Bangles, iron bands. You can throw an iron bangle treated 1d10 and proficiency. You have 10, 5 armbands. Oh, this is like the 10 Rings movie, isn't it? So kitchen gloves itself are fire resistant. That's true. This is a magic item, so they should make you immune to touching fire, like immune from taking fire damage when you touch something. That's what I want to try to do. If we're going to make magical, let's make a magical. Yeah, the iron bangles thing. I don't know. I'm not so sure. I don't feel like it's a glove. but I might drop that down there for later for a different item when I run out of ideas, which is probably going to happen today. Here we go. So iron bangles. All right, back to your kitchen gloves idea, which I actually rather like. So let's do that. Here we go. Let's have a look. Let's see what we can do. Kitchen gloves. Okay, so we need to go here. So it's not what you're not going to be using an action. This is a non-action magic glove. Let's do this. Let's take this and drop that in. Paste. And let's take this as a wondrous item. Crack that across. Copy. Paste. And so while wearing these gloves, anything you touch with your hands doesn't cause any fire damage, okay, while wearing these, okay. And heat. Okay, let's see if I got this right. And so while wearing these gloves, anything you touch with your hands doesn't cause any fire damage or gives you immunity to fire and heat. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. That was pretty easy. Our kitchen gloves are made. Dun dun dun. Sweet. All right, what else do I have here? Let's see if there's anything else I have to pull from chat. Otherwise, I'll start doing my own thing. Oh, here we go. Yes, Shang-Chi. Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're trying to do with the iron bangles. Rubber gloves keeps hands clean. Electrical gloves, lightning resistance. Winter gloves, cold resistance. Well, I mean, all those sorts of things kind of make sense to a certain degree. We can do those sorts of things. We can actually cause damage with gloves by touching something. My general feeling is by separating these things out, which is very, very simple. None of these are like bad ideas. They're very, very simple, and they certainly would sit in the common realm. Rubber gloves. What else? Electrician gloves, electrical gloves, lightning resistance. If I'm going to do lightning resistance, I'm going to do lightning immunity. Do you know what I mean? I just don't see the point in doing it unless I'm just giving them full-blown like immunity, because otherwise it's not really magical. You know, it's more normal mundane, and common is not normal mundane. Common is just a little bit better than normal mundane. So yeah, it's still magical. So yeah, we might have to go a little bit further with those. Anyway, let's see if I can transfer over this. We might just I think we could probably port the concepts of the kitchen glove over and just slightly modify it at each stage. I think that would work fine. I don't think we'd have too many problems with that happening. Let's do this again. Drop this down and smash that in. Let's prompt that again. So I got 3 to work on there, Shy. 3 to work on. And then common magic items, please. Something that's really, really basic and simple. Paste. The lack of gloves is definitely concerning, but we've already created more gloves than there is on D&D Beyond. So I don't know if you realize this, people, but there are not a lot of magic gloves in D&D Beyond. It's pretty sparse, and they're pretty high level too. Like, I was looking at the gloves. There's probably like 3 gauntlets, and the gloves. There's 1. This is the same thing. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. There's 5 different magic gloves. If I type in gauntlets, it's going to be even less than that. I think there's like 3 different types of gauntlets. That's it. Nothing else. So we've already made more gloves and gauntlets, I think, than that is or close to. All right, so the rubber gloves thing is just, I'm not sure how to do that without it just coming across as being silly. But what we could do is prestidigitation has that cleaning aspect to them. And instead of rubber gloves, why don't we build on that? Cleaner's gloves. And let's give it 2 different effects. Really, really minor ones, but still magical in some way. Yeah? How about that? So cleaning, I feel like I need to do this. Copy, paste. Okay. Wearing these gloves. Let's take that away, and if I go to prestidigitation, which is probably a really good place to go for this concept, because we can go a little bit further than just keeps your hands clean, which is not particularly exciting, right? If we go to legacy, and there is an effect here that allows you to, you instantly clean or soil an object no larger than 1 foot. And I think we can get rid of the soil and just have the cleaning side of things. Let's take this and port this across. Paste. Okay, while wearing these gloves, anything you touch is instantly cleaned. Instantly cleaned. Wither. Is it wither? That's not wither. Now, one foot. I'm probably going to go a little bit more than that. I'm going to expand it out a little bit. So let's go here. Touch is instantly cleaned. Okay, so here we go. While wearing these gloves, any creature or object you touch is instantly cleaned. Okay. The object must be no larger than 10 cubic feet, and the creature can't be larger than huge size. Feet. Okay. The gloves also, okay. Keep your hands. The gloves also keep you perfectly clean. I have a player who has a thing about staying clean with their character. This would appeal to them. The gloves also keep the wearer perfectly clean. And I think there is your rubber glove idea. While wearing these gloves, any creature or object you touch is instantly cleaned. The object must be no larger than 10 cubic feet, and the creature can be no larger than huge size. Okay. Alright, so we've got that one done. Let's do this lightning thing, which I don't really think lightning resistance is good enough. It's too mundane. We've got to go immunity. So there's I think probably the easiest way to go with this is what's the okay, electrician gloves. Do we call it that? I'm just trying to think about this a little bit. It's kind of like the kitchen gloves, isn't it? In terms of how it should probably work. So we'll go down, drop this in, paste it. I'm just writing, while wearing these gloves, anything you touch with your hands doesn't cause lightning or electrical damage, or gives you immunity. No, that's it. I don't think we need to say anything else. I think that should be enough. That's I think what I was aiming for. So we'll make that. It's that one, and your last one, your cold resistance. They're actually, we're going to go with immunity. I don't think that's going to be enough, so I want to push it up a little bit more, and we can probably take this and just cut and paste. Copy. Paste. Paste. Gloves, anything you touch with your hands doesn't cause any cold or frost damage. Cold damage, frost damage. Yeah, it's close enough. Cold damage, frost damage, they're pretty much the same, aren't they? Do I need to say that? Electrical, lightning, cold, doesn't cause any cold or, okay, bold, We'll go there. Did I do this? Okay, alright, there we go. Right, so that's that one. I think we've covered all the gloves that protect you from something. We've got most of them, I think. Dear. Alright, so let's go back to the chat and see what else there is to pull out from there. I'm very, very curious, I have to say. Oh, we've got some more feedback. Got some more stuff to work with. Great. You are late in. We've already done the electrician's gloves, so that's fine. Rune gloves. Cast Glyph of Warding. It can move or join together to cast the stored spell or effect. I'll have to think about that. I guess I hate to say it, I'm not really a fan of Glyph of Warding or the effect itself, and not for the reason you might expect, I'd imagine. But yeah, it's going to be a hard sell for me, that one. But I have marked it down as a potential. Okay, next, shield glove can attach a shield to keep your hands free. Oh. I don't even think that's a magic item, really, Shy X. It would be a piece of equipment, wouldn't it? I almost feel like it's well. Here's the problem with thinking that you can keep your hands free. The strap itself, when you're holding a shield, right, means you can't hold anything else in your hand because you're holding the strap for the shield, and there's two straps usually. There's something that's, holding it in place. So you can control it and maneuver it and angle it. And if you were to put a sword in your hand and have the shield, using the weapon but not using the shield for defense should really negate the use of having a shield bonus with the glove or with your weapon. So I don't think they fit. I know people think, physically you could do it. But if you think physically about, actual fighting, and I hate to say it, I have done some fighting in my day. I might be a bit fat now, but I did do this sort of thing. A shield and a sword in the same hand is really like a silly thing to do, because you have just negated the effect of your shield being useful, because it is now being used for an offensive purpose rather than a defensive purpose. Okay. You could say, well, that's the same if you were punching. Like, you can use your arms to block, or you can use them for offense. But here's the thing. The difference is that if you decide to not use your hands for blocking and you decide to punch, you are now vulnerable and your defense is a lot has been opened up. That is a consequence. So I think the shield glove is not something I would build. I just don't think it's a good idea. I don't care whether it's normal fire or magical fire. Couldn't care less. I'm not going to state that it's magical and normal fire. If the gloves work against magical fire, sweet ass. I don't care. Gloves of helping hands. Pair of ghostly hands do simple tasks like mage hand but visible, and can ban use of broom and dustpan at the same time. I'll think about it. We already did sort of the glove of mage hand. Gloves of helping hands. I'm more likely to do that one, I guess. But it's so similar to the one we just made. So I'm probably not going to do it here in the live stream, because I'm going to try to do some different stuff. So what else do we have? We've got kitchen gloves already. Avery gloves. Raising your arm, you draw one bird off a D12 table. Oh God. Avery gloves. It's an interesting idea. I don't think that would. I think what you're trying to do with it though is not really a common magic item idea though. It's like me growing a flower or a tree or a plant from nothing. It's why I have it highlighted as not being necessarily common. It might be uncommon. Do you know what I mean? So maybe just a little bit more powerful than we want. What else? Oh, Pierre Sherman's here too. Fred Hubert, patron. What do we got here? Surviving when cooking. Oh, I don't think so. Why do we need to include that? No, I basically put down lightning immunity. It's essentially lightning immunity or electrical immunity if you touch something with the gloves. But yeah. But yes, I guess gloves and boots together, you shouldn't have any problems, right? Because you've eliminated the point of travel. Oh, now the sleight of hand gloves, Pierre Sherm. The problem with sleight of hand gloves is the following. There is the gloves of thievery, and they are essentially that. Like, they are gloves. These gloves are invisible when worn. While wearing them, you have a +5 bonus to dexterity, sleight of hand checks, and dexterity checks made to pick locks. Now, I could have made a glove of lock picking, or gloves of lock picking, but this has already been built. Okay, there's no point making it again. So I don't want to. If it's already been made, I don't want to just wind up making it again, if I can help it. I don't think I would be adding anything to it, so yeah, I'm not going to worry about it, unfortunately. So it does exist. Yeah, I didn't actually show you what I thought I was showing you, but you just see my face. Sorry, people. See, gloves of thievery. Wizards of the Coast already made it. There's no point doing it again, so I'm not going to. Okay. All right. What's next? Gloves of metal cooling prevents metal, heated metal, magic missile gloves. Yeah, magic missile gloves had certainly crossed my mind. I feel like that would be a gauntlet though, if we're going to make that, and that's probably a level 1 spell. So yeah, but yes, we probably need to make them. Make an infinity gauntlet. I don't want to make an infinity gauntlet. I don't want to make an infinity gauntlet. Archer's gloves. Okay, so draw quick draw. After you make an attack, you can make an extra attack, and you don't add modifier to the. No, not a chance that I'm making that. Magic items that add extra actions, I'm not a fan of. Also, too, I believe when I was looking through Shadow Dark that somebody has made those sorts of things already. Because I was like, am I going to be going over stuff that people have already done? And I believe, is it Archer's gloves? Archer's braces of archery. Braces of archery. It's not Archer's gloves. It's braces of archery. But it only gives you a +1 to damage on ranged weapons. That's a very small effect. What you're suggesting is quite a lot more. Okay, so let's take archer gloves. If we're going to do it, we're going to make it significant. It's got to be smaller in terms of its effect. And if we give it a +1 to hit, then it's no longer a common magic item. Let's get real. It's just not. So I think that idea, although we can work with it, I don't know what I don't want to do that. Asbestos gloves. We've got juggling gloves. Oh. Gloves of dexterity. Oh, I believe there is gloves of dexterity already. God. Because I was looking at other things that people had created. So I think we're going to have to skip that one. Gloves. Oh, also to the boots. The boots of dexterity I thought were better. Boots of agility. I thought that was more in line. Gloves of snaring. No, we've already got that one. It's already been made. What kind of gloves for mages in particular? I don't know. Pugilist gloves. Oh, Probably what we need, knuckle dusters. We have to make a pair of knuckle dusters. It's not, it's kind of like a, we have to make some magic knuckle dusters. We definitely have to do that, knuckle dusters. Knuckle dusters, okay. I know this because I don't know what you call them though. Is knuckle dusters 2 words or knuckle dusters 1 word? Knuckle dusters is 2 words. We just need to put something else with it to give it a decent name, because just calling it knuckle dusters is not very much, is it? Why is it called knuckle dusters? +1 to damage when you make an melee attack. It's pretty easy to add. Brass knuckles, knuckle dusters. So it is a separate word. It is a separate word. Okay. All right. What else do we have here? we have. I'm pretty sure I already did the gloves of climbing, pugilist, gloves of spell casting, puppet master. I think we're going up in power level a little bit here. I feel like these are probably going to be a little bit stronger than your standard thing. Let me get as much down as I can that I think I can work with. Cursed gloves of idle hands. What is that? I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. No idea. Senpai noticed me. Did it? No, okay. Cursed gloves of idle hands. Jim, how can I not notice you? The chat is just full of stuff. I don't know what I would do with this, but I always like a curse somewhere along the line. So I will chuck this in here and part of the list of things to work with. Okay, what else? Gloves of grappling. Gloves of grappling's not a bad idea. I would like to call it something else though. I know where this is going, right? It's not a bad idea at all. I think it's got a lot of weight to it in terms of an idea. Mushroom gloves. As an action, you can make it smell like. Oh dear. Gloves of thunderclap. Okay, so that's damage dealing. We've got that. Arm wrestling. I don't know about arm wrestling. Do we need to worry about arm wrestling? Gloves of thunder. Thunder, bring the thunder. Okay, what else we got here? Oh, okay. There's some pretty cool ideas here, I have to say. I don't know if I'm going to get to them all. How much is... Oh, it's not an hour. An hour's not even an hour in, so we're doing all right. I just got to catch up with you guys. You lose control of your hands. Mittens of archery. Gain proficiency with all bow weapons. Hello, Derp. Derp is a patron. How's it going? But firing a bow with mittens on gets disadvantaged, so the gloves are worthless. Gloves of archery I can live with. I can live with the idea of gloves of archery. I actually probably like the idea of you gain proficiency or are trained with all bow weapons. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is... see if I can keep up with this. Get this in. Okay, next. Call them the gloves of angler. The angler, you reckon? Webbed gloves. Everything is sticky, cannot be disarmed against your will. Oh, okay. Unbreakable grip, mittens of warmth, mittens of swimming, gloves of swimming. I believe there are already gloves of swimming. Swimming and climbing. Yep, there is. Swimming and climbing, Wizards of the Coast already made it. It's a shame, but that's fine. I'm alright with that. It's cool. What else? Let's go through this chat here. Keep jotting down bits and pieces. I've done that one, the proficiency, and then call them gloves of angler, gloves of unbreakable grip. It's gloves. Okay, so I'm going to write up some of your ideas. Keep throwing the ideas out there, and I'll do my best to keep up with it. But so I've got a little bit of work to do now, don't I? Huh. Butterfingers, curse, not a treat. And where's the other thing that I had put in here? Copy and paste. Drop this in. Alright, back to the other screen. Back to work. I have a lot of stuff to work on. Rather a lot. So here we go. Knuckle dusters. Don't know what to call them yet, but I really like this idea. We're going to have some magical knuckle dusters. I think that's just a given. Has to happen. What they're actually called, I don't know. But archer's gloves, quick draw. I think we'll skip the idea of quick draw. If you make an attack, you can make an extra attack, and you don't. No, it's too strong. So instead, I would like to go here, something like this. Paste. Okay. Knuckle dusters need to happen later. Drop it down here. Paste. Okay, so archer's gloves. And bold. And bold. And then a wondrous item, make an attunement while wearing these gloves. You are granted efficiency training in all crossbows and bow weapons. Training in all crossbows, short bows and long bows. I think that's probably good enough. It's a very, very simple thing, and I definitely think that is a common magic item in terms of power level. So we'll put that there. Next. Magic missile to save for later. The fishing gloves. I like those a lot. Oh, you want to call it angler gloves, I think it was, wasn't it? Cut. Paste. Angler, angular, angler. Is that right? Angler, angler gloves. Okay. So let's do something a bit nutty. I've got to be careful because I could over talk this completely. Paste. Okay, so while wearing these gloves, you can catch one See, I don't want to do this. Now I really just want you to be able to catch as many fish as you like. But here's the problem. While wearing these gloves, you can catch fish. Catch fish with your bare hands. The amount of fish I probably have to stipulate, otherwise it's going to get a bit too strong. It winds up breaking the economy because suddenly all the fish have been fished out. It'll be all sorts of weird things can take place. This is one of those items where the decanter of endless water. You have an endless pile of fish occurring. While wearing these gloves, you can catch fish with your bare hands. The number, okay. You can catch fish when you with your bare hands when you place them in water that has fish swimming around. Okay, all right. Well, I've been specific enough. I just had to be careful of this item. The number of fish. And size of fish you can catch in a 24-hour period is only enough to feed one medium-sized creature. All right. I've gone to a lot of lengths to write this one up just because I realised that it would be very easy to get silly with this, and it would definitely not be a common magic item anymore. Okay, next. Gloves of Thunderclap, gloves of grappling. Let's go cut. Let's work on this one. So paste. Gloves of grappling. Basically the restless gloves, aren't they? Restless gloves, just call it that. So how do we make that super simple so it's not going to get out of control? Wrestler's gloves. I was wondering if we're going to get a whole lot of variations or variant things going on here, and we certainly have today. There's a lot of ideas. While wearing these gloves, while wearing these gloves, you have advantage on any ability check or attack roll to grab, grapple, shove, and wrestle with another creature. Advantage. It's not a given. Yep, I think that's probably still fine. I think that's what you were trying to get across, so that's that one done. Gloves of the Thunderclap. I don't know what to do with that. Really don't know. Iron Bangles. Okay, so let's go back to the chat and see what you guys have cocked up for me. I'm leaving the Magic Missile Gloves idea for later. I really want to call for name for the Knuckle Dusters, and I'll write that one up as well. But I don't know what it'll be. So, okay. Next thing. What else do we have? Blimey, have I... Yep, here we go. Ethereal gloves. Makes your hands ethereal. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Contraceptive gloves, rubber gloves. Funny dude. Nice. I don't think ethereal gloves are going to be a common magic item. I think we're definitely heading into the realm of it being a lot more powerful than that. So, yeah, I don't know about that one. It's an interesting idea. It's just, I just don't know if I want to go that hardcore at this present time. Because actually, they would create a lot of complications in terms of how you would write and design them. I don't think that I'm good enough to be able to figure out a solution for them too. It's not about how strong or powerful they are, it's just how would you write them without them causing a whole lot of strife for a game master. I'm going to put a whole bunch of question marks there. I actually think this is a trap. I don't think this is going to be a good idea at all. Gives you advantage on KOs. KD. Gloves of Talking to the Hand. Lets you understand someone by holding your hand up like trying to shut them up. Oh my god. Really? Of course. I knew that. It had to happen. Gloves of Sign Language. Oh. That's essentially what it is gloves of sign language. That's what you're talking about here, Fred. And Pearsham has given it a name. Do you know, if I made this magic item, what is the bet that somebody will go on about me being a particular thing? You know, that WOKE thing? I would just do it just because I think it's hilarious. But I can just see somebody looking at this and saying, gloves of sign language? Really? Really? Are we really trying to be that inclusive? And I'm like, no, we're just taking the piss, mate. Don't take it too seriously. Okay, I've marked it down. I don't know if I'll do anything with it tonight or today. Gloves of Winning. These gloves have divine magic that allows the winner to always win rock, paper, scissors. Really? There's a goofy. I've got the goofy team right now. Darn it! I've got the goofy team right now. The goofiness is coming out. We've got lots of goofy stuff going on. Hilarious, but definitely goofy. Okay, all right. Let's see if I can find the net. What was the other thing that you guys had? Gardening gloves. I've already got gardening gloves. Don't you worry. I don't know if I can get this. This is a silly. This is very, very silly. This one. This is definitely very, very silly. And then what else do we have? Angler gloves, seeing catfishing, cat fisting gloves, cat fisting. Okay, gloves of deflecting, can deflect missiles. It's certainly gloves of deflecting or deflecting missiles is definitely a thing that would be suitable for gloves. And as you know, monks can deflect missiles in 5e, for example. And, you know, if you look at other versions of D&D like Pathfinder, they got things that are doing that same sort of thing. The problem is, and I know this sounds strange, I love playing monks. And it's definitely part of the narrative and the fantasy is being able to deflect missiles as a monk or as a martial artist. Or monk warrior. But I think it is one of the worst things to add into the game, being able to deflect missiles. It's like shield. Shield is, you know, as a spell in 5e is really good. It's way too good, and as a result of that, it's the go-to for anybody who's got that sort of thing. The problem with gloves of deflecting is I'd have to limit it in some way, otherwise it would just get used constantly. It's definitely going to just get, you know, yeah, Midas gloves. Well, yes. Canoodling. It's called canoodling? Canoodling. All right. Midas gloves are pretty powerful. I think if we start turning people into gold with your gloves, then, yeah, there's a problem. I don't know that I'll be making those. It's going to create a lot of other problems. Sounds scary? Could be. Canoodling? Is it canoodle? Oh, good lord. Do they? Chameleon gloves. These gloves change appearance to match the outfit and setting. Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. This one I like the most, Dirt, out of all the ones you put forward. It's definitely my favourite. Definitely my favourite. So I feel like I'll be working on that in a second. The catfish get bigger. Oh no, I don't know about that. Filleting fish, catfish. Items level up with the player. Yeah, and I do that, but not for a common magic item. And we're building common magic items right now. Things that won't break the game. Shakes harmlessly. Oh my gosh. Hilarious. Yes, sign language would be handy if you need to be quiet. It's provided somebody else knows how to do sign language. Shaping stone, gloves of shaping stone. We've got one for shaping elements. It's pretty basic. Shaping stone, it would be a very high level magic item though if we were to make that. Again, probably not something that I'm going to do today. Or clay see-through gloves. No. Gloves of carting. What do you mean carting? Gloves of skeletal hands makes your hands appear skeletal. Gloves of shaping flesh. Oh, that's disgusting. Gloves of shaping plants. Well, we've got one that grows plants already. Crab claw gloves, tentacle gloves, a tentacle resembling an arm. Wolverine gloves. Oh, okay. You mean claws? What are you going to call it? You're not going to call it Wolverine gloves. You're going to call it Wolverine claws, aren't you? Maybe we'll make that. I don't know. I'm still deciding. I'm trying to decide which things to stick in where. Certainly higher on my list to do it than something else, but yeah. So that's that. Okay, so there's a lot of 1, 2, 3 words coming my way, and I've got most of them down. I need to just start working on dirty gloves. Always seems dirty. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't want to clean. We got cleaning. We've got cleaners gloves already. We've got that. We made that. It's done. It's done. So I'm gonna prompt again, and I'm gonna start working on the stuff that you put forward. Okay. So are we halfway? We're just over halfway through now. Okay. All right. I don't know how many magic items we've got made so far, but I'm sure it's getting closer to that 25 mark or 30 mark. And paste. All right, so I think a review is required so you guys can catch up with what we've been up to for those of you who are still here. Let's see what we can do. Let's bring this across. So this is my notes. So the things we have made already, so we don't have to make them again. We've got lightning gauntlets. We've got mountaineer's gloves. We've got gloves of spider climbing. And mountaineer's gauntlets, mountaineer's gloves are different to the gloves of spider climbing. Okay, one is better than the other, but they're still, yeah. One is uncommon, and one is definitely common. Gloves of crafting elements. We have the gardener's gloves, which I don't know that we can put down as being a common magic item. It's probably going to have to be an uncommon magic item. But since I do a lot of gardening, I thought it would be nice to have that there. The gloves of mage hand, which is a little bit complicated. Kitchen gloves, basically for protecting you from fire and heat. Okay, cleaner's gloves, which are highly amusing. Keep yourself clean and you can clean others. The electrician gloves, the winter gloves. We have the archer's gloves, we have the angler's gloves, we have the wrestler's gloves, and now we're going to do the chameleon's gloves. Because I like the chameleon idea. I thought that was hilarious. And fitting too. It is one of those items, like it's like the cape of billowing. Very much so. Anyway, let's just do this. Paste. Okay, while wearing these gloves, you can change the... Okay, while wearing these gloves, you can change the appearance of them to match the outfit and setting you are in. Weird. Super weird. But it's down. Okay. Wolverine gloves. Well, Wolverine claws. And I think... Do I have an idea for how to do that? The sign language one is hilarious. But Wolverine claws I'm up for. Let's do this. Do that one there. Paste. Paste. Okay, Wolverine claws. Copy. Paste. Okay, so I need to make sure it's still magical in some way without getting carried away. So what is the best way to do that? I've got to make them fun, I've got to make them interesting, and they still need to not be crazy. Wondrous item, common, requires attunement. While wearing these, wearing this pair of claws, you do 1d8 slashing or piercing damage when you make an unarmed strike. Okay. While wearing this pair of claws, you do 1d8 slashing or piercing damage when you make an unarmed strike. Okay, so that's really pushing up unarmed strikes quite a bit, and it would probably be better than if you were a monk, because a monk starts at 1d6, doesn't it, and then goes up from there. So but it's still in line with most weapons are doing a 1d8 anyway, unless you're playing Shadow Dark and the numbers are a little bit smaller. But it's still not magical at this point. It is just a weapon that you carry as claws. So now we've got to make it feel like there's something else about them that's special. And I don't want to give you a +1 to them. I just want to increase the damage. And the damage is not crazy. It's not like a +1 or +2 or +3. It's just changing the damage dice. So I feel like that's still within being common. But now we need to make it magical. So how do we make it magical? And I think the claws are indestructible, and can't be rusted or corroded by magical or non-magical means. Now it's a magic item. What do you reckon? I think that's kind of fitting. I think that works. I would still like to have my knuckle dusters, but the Wolverine claws, I feel like that's working all right. We could do that. Gloves of sign language. We're just going to do it because just for shits and giggles really. So let's put this here. And I wouldn't normally make it gloves. It would be something else for me, but I see where they're going with this because you're making hand gestures, right? So I need to get this right. Oh, I need to push this down. Let's just push this down to the third page. Okay. So that means I need to push this down more, make some space. Okay, there we go. Paste. Is that right? Okay, while wearing these gloves, you understand sign language and can communicate messages to other creatures with your hands that also understand sign language. I'm sorry. It's pretty funny though. Am I really sorry? No, not really. No. Okay. So we've some hijinks going on here. I think I'm going to have to start going through some spells and doing some other stuff here. Yeah, this is still pretty funny. So we're on to our third page of stuff, and I need to go to the toilet. Sorry, people, but I do. So I'll be back in a second. So quick break, and 5 minutes or less. Arnold will look after you. I'll be back. Here we go. All right, get back in the saddle here. All right, so I'm here. I'm back. We're ready to do this again. What have we got here in chat? You guys cooked up any other ideas? Maybe, maybe not. Oh yes, you do. You have flame fig something. Oh my gosh, there's a whole bunch of these things going on here. I'm gonna have trouble keeping up with all of this. Flame finger gloves. Flame finger. Snap your fingers and your index finger is lit with a small flame. Okay, I like that idea, Fred Herbert. That is a pretty solid, simple thing. So basically, he's just created a lighter. I just realized you created a lighter. Oh no, ornate gloves gives you an air of royalty and nobility. People are going completely narrative now and mundane, which is funny as hell. I should not have written up the gloves of sign language. I just realized, because I'm just encouraging you guys to do more of this. My group, if I presented the gloves of sign language to them, they would probably all laugh, particularly when they found out what it could do. But they would also then tell me, since they're all game masters and dungeon masters, they will also say to me, Fred, you made a fuck you player magic item. And I'd have to say, yes, you're right, I did. Because it really is. It is not the best magic item under the sun, even for a low level. It is way too situational. But anyway, let's see what other... I can just imagine what's going to happen as I read down here. Proctologist gloves. I knew it was going to get... I knew I shouldn't have done it. I should not have done it. I just encourage you to do more. Oh no, gloves of weapon summoning. I like that idea. I actually like that idea. I think gloves of weapon summoning is a brilliant idea. And I don't feel like that is an FU magic item. That's actually quite a good idea. The problem is whose weapon can you summon? That's the problem. And what weapon can you summon? Imagine having gloves and not having to wear a weapon at your side. I feel like it should be gauntlets, though. It almost feels like it should be a gauntlet, rather than a glove. There are certain things that feel like they're better as a gauntlet than a glove. But anyway, yes, I like that. Proctologist's gloves are not happening. Gloves of crafting. Gloves of crafting? We kind of... I mean, how would I do that, though? I like the idea. It won't be a low level... it won't be low level, though, will it? It would have to be something else. It's not a bad idea. I just, how to do it. Gloves of life draining. I think we can probably do that because chill touch is it a cantrip or a first level spell? I can't remember. So there's basically life draining. Gloves of life draining would probably fit into that. Telescopic gloves, making an O with your hand, and you can. Dear, I don't think so. Make a 2d4 minus 1. Really? Go gadget hand. Gloves of the healer. So basically, we've got gloves of the healer. Look, gloves of the healer, I suppose, is a thing. Yes. I guess I'm going to have to make something that's kind of in that vein as well at some point. My gosh. Racing gloves, treated as proficient in vehicle. Gloves of animal handling. The problem with animal handling is we've had this come up before, and trying to do it without it breaking your game is actually really quite difficult. Gloves of forging. Oh my god. All right, so there could be a lot of things that give you proficiency and stuff in a game for sure. All right, so what else? What else we got here? Tool gloves. Yes, you can store one tool. You're proficient in this glove, allowing you to use the utilize action as of... this is all 2024. Shy X, I know there's a whole bunch of people who will be playing 2024, but I can't stand it. I had to put up with 12 years of 5e written the way it was, and I hate to say it, I'm not enjoying 5.5 or 5.24 or version 6 or whatever the hell it is, 2024. So I'm probably just going to... The idea of tool gloves, but that type of mechanic, it's not going to work for me. The first part of the description, though, is not bad. I just don't know how I would do it. How do I do it? How do I do it? All right. Gloves of knitting and knotting, not tying. Oh, God. Gloves of bull riding. Talk about situational. At least the cloak of billowing can be used all the time. Stay with the bull and you might not. Okay, dueling gloves. Gloves of the... what? Pretty sure I'm ducking up. Yeah. Gloves of dart throwing. Oh my God. Gloves of contacting. You make your hand look like a phone. And it's basically message. No. No, I don't. Not for a glove. Not for a glove. Surgeon's gloves. Your weapon. 5-finger death punch glove. After fifth. And I was drops bride. Oh dear. Is there already... So, Zark, things are getting out of control here. Is there already a gloves of messaging as a cantrip? Look, I don't think I'm going to make message a glove. Massage, you want to turn it from message to massage. Gloves of massage. Okay, all right. I'm not prompting you guys anymore to give me any more ideas. I'm just going to write some shit up that you've given me, and we'll see if it comes out into some sort of thing. I don't know what else to say. It's my own fault. I should not have done the gloves of sign language, because that has just encouraged all sorts of silliness, which is fun, but yeah, it's not getting me anywhere. Okay, gloves of weapon summoning. So now I have a problem. I do not want it to take somebody else's weapon out of their hands and be used as a disarming feature. While wearing these gloves, you paste. Okay. While wearing these gloves, you can. That's not the wording. I want to, if we're going to summon something, I'm going to force you to do it the good old way, which is I'm going to burn your action, because I can see this being way too good otherwise. So let's see if I go back far enough, will I find something that is sort of in line with that. While wearing these gloves, you can use an action to let's do that. Paste. While wearing these gloves, you can use an action to conjure a non-magical, conjure a non-magical weapon of your choice for 1 hour. Here we go. I think we have not broken the game by doing that. That's it. Whatever weapon it is, you can conjure. While wearing these gloves, you can use an action to conjure one non-magical weapon of your choice for 1 hour. You can only have one conjured weapon at a time. Otherwise, I can see this. Everybody loses all their weapons and somebody puts on their gloves and just starts summoning a whole bunch of weapons and then selling them off. Or handing them to the party members because they've got no weapons left. This is how it would be used. I am very much aware of what would take place because, remember, play with power gamers. They'll find a way. Alright, so next. Flame finger gloves. No, I don't want to call this gloves though. I think this should be gauntlets. Gauntlets. Oh, there we go. That's better. It's gauntlet. While wearing these gauntlets, you can use action K. That's fine. I think we've got that sorted. Just make sure that there's the claws. Chameleon gloves are fine. Restless gloves are fine. Angler's gloves are fine. Archer's gloves are fine. Winter gloves are fine. Electron, yes. The cleaner ones, that's all fine. Not a lot of these are combat features. We've got so many things that are non-combat, which is great. It's kind of what I was after. Making combat stuff is easy. Okay, so now we'll take this idea, which is basically a lighter. And then we go cut and then paste. Flame finger gloves. So let's take that. Copy. And paste. Paste. So alright, Fred Hoover, what have we got here? Flame finger gloves. So, wondrous common. While wearing these gloves, not gauntlets, you can use an action to snap your fingers. Your fingers. And your index finger is lit with a small flame for 1 hour. Basically, it's light. It's basically the light cantrip. And you're lighting up your index finger. Okay, alright, fine, it's done. What other nonsense have we got here to work with? Okay. Gloves of bull riding. No. The tool one is interesting. I am really unsure how I would structure this. I like this idea of the tool glove and that, but how I would write it is the thing that's concerning me. The ornate gloves. Oh my god, let's do that. Damn, don't do that. Undo this. Undo. What have I done? I've gone to a different mode. Sorry, people. I've gone to a different mode and I don't want to do that. Is it still edit? It is. Okay. Let's take the ornate gloves. I have a friend in my home group who would love these. He'd be cackling with laughter, but he would still love them. And, okay, so. Paste. Did I just miss something else? Yeah, probably. Let's try this. Copy. paste. Okay. Okay. Ornate gloves. While wearing these gloves, you have an air of royalty or nobility. Granting, I don't know, advantage on ability checks to what? To persuade or can we do on charisma checks to persuade, deceive, or intimidate. Intimidate another creature. Okay, intimidate or intimidate. I think that's fine. How am I doing for time? Okay, all right. The forge one, I don't know what to do with the forge one. The animal handling is a trap. Gloves of healing, we'll probably have to do it at some point. Magic missile gloves, I would like to do them, but problem with magic missile is there's so many problems with magic missile. Life drain, that feels like a cantrip. I almost feel like there's a few here that are things that are cantrip level stuff. We've just been provided with a name. So what I'll do is I will take that and I will start working my way through the cantrips, because I think that's probably the better, smarter thing to do. Did I get it? Back again. We haven't really looked at these cantrips that much. Don't want to do acid. No. Blade ward. No. No. Chill touch. There we go. Chill touch. Oh, that's the new one, isn't it? Oh, no. Just give me the old one. Oh, shit. The old one's even more complicated. Is the new one better? Super simple. So it does 1d10. What did the last one do? It did 1d8. Oh, so they increased the damage output and they trimmed it down so it's not as complicated. Interesting. Okay, so let's take Chill Touch, because I can see that being a doable thing. And if I paste this in here, and then I take the life drain, copy, go up, paste that, life drain. Oh, I didn't actually delete it though, did I? It was not a cut, it was just a copy. So cut. And then we'll put this in here. Drop that in. Yes. Okay, so now I need to... It needs to be an action. It needs to be an attack of some kind, so it needs that sort of structure. And it needs to be doing a certain number of points of damage. And you can't regain hit points until you end the end of your next turn. And it can't regain hit points until the end of its next turn. We can probably do that. That'd be fine. So we have something that's more attacky in here, I'm pretty sure. You guys made... Oh, here we go, the lightning one. This is basically an attacky thing. Let's take this structure here and we'll go down. And then life drained. So I need to go something like that. Paste. And I think gauntlets rather than gloves. Of life draining. Okay, well, when you use an action while wearing these gauntlets, okay, so let's make this simple. When using an action while wearing these gauntlets, you can draw life energy from another creature. Okay, and then make a melee spell attack against the target on a hit. The target takes 1d. Now, that's not going to be this. Necrotic damage. Now, I know the spell is 1d10, but I'm paring it back to 1d8. Damage. I'm already aware that 2024 is significantly more powerful in many respects. And damage, and then I can't read. Yep, so that's probably fine there. And it can't regain hit points until the end of your next turn. Yeah, I think that works. I think that's all right. We'll make that a thing. So that wasn't too hard at all, actually, which is good news. Next, I do not want to do Eldritch Blast. I do not want to do Dancing Lights because we've got one that's basically a firelighter as it is. Firebolt's not really what I was having. I didn't have that in mind. Elemental, no. Fire, no. Friends, no. I don't think gloves. I know animal friendship was presented as a possibility. Animal handling. I just don't know how to structure that without it just becoming too strong. Frostbite. Gloves of frostbite. Ray of frost, frostbite. We can do something, I guess, with this. I am not convinced that it's a great idea. It might just wind up being just another glove that does damage, and a different type of damage. I suppose to a certain extent, a lot of people are looking for that already. We've done the ornate gloves already, so that's gone. And there's plenty of different sort of ideas here, but okay. If I do that, it's really just this. Try again. Copy. It's really just this, and it's just cold damage. Paste. I don't know. Frostbite. We've got the frostbite spell there. Action. I don't want it to give a range. I want it to be touch. 1d10, disadvantage of the next attack roll until it makes... God, I hate those mechanics. Oh, it's really not my favourite thing at all. Because you got to track all that shit, and I just don't care about that sort of thing. This bugs me so much. This sentence right there, and I loathe the idea of doing what Frostbite does in terms of the secondary effect. Because really all we're doing is changing damage type. And I just don't know how else to word it without it just winding up being here's another thing to track on the next round. Here's another thing to track on the next round. I hate that so much. Okay. On a hit, yes, yeah, that bit's alright. This still bugs me. Don't be sure that I'm going to make sure this goes onto Patreon. I may well just ditch it with a lot of the other ones as well. I don't want to do a saving throw. An attack roll is fine. And let's go here. Paste. So when using an action while wearing these gauntlets, you cause numbing frost. You cause frost to form on one creature you touch. Yeah, okay, so put in question mark here. Pardon me. I'm not a fan of, I'm just not a fan of it. Every time there's a secondary effect, if it's just doing damage, it's just doing damage. That's all right with me, I don't mind. But the secondary effects, I can't stand having to track stuff for next round. It's a pain for players because I know the players will forget or they'll just ignore it. Or if I have to track it, it's a pain in the butt. And it's just not my favourite thing to do at all. Anyway, so there's a bunch of them. Look, I will put this on Patreon at the end of the week. It probably won't be for free, but it will be there for those of you who are interested. There's a bunch of ideas people have put forward for gloves. Like, you can do a lot of stuff with gloves. We could have done a lot more than just 3 pages. We could have done a heap more. I was just really reluctant to get too carried away. Anyway, I need to get going out of here. I'm running out of time. Got to go to work. Got to get I make some money, I guess. And have you made magic gloves for your tabletop role-playing games? No, 62%. Really? Is it out of 8 votes? Only 62% of you. Yes, 25%. Well, that's good. Incomplete, 12%. Come on, finish them. Out of 8 votes. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't realize there would be so few people who had made stuff like that. Oh, Shy X is already gone. Happy birthday to your son. He's been turning 4. Cool. Nice. I need to get out of here. You need to get out of here. And we're out of time. We need to do some stuff next week. I don't know what we're doing next week. It'll be more magic items. I just don't know what it will be. You know what I mean? So thank you for watching and listening. Thank you for taking part in the poll. Huge thank you to all of my patrons who support me on Patreon so I can keep doing this sort of thing and flood their emails with way too many things every single week, which is currently what tends to happen. Pierre Schum, thank you for being here. Fred Huber, Shy X, Zark, any weapon like a trebuchet. Oh, good lord, really? Oh dear. All right. Any melee weapon. I will say any melee. Well, I don't even know. I don't even think it needs to be a melee weapon. It just needs to be any weapon. I don't think it should be include trebuchets and catapults or firearms. But anyway, it depends on your game, I guess. Fred Huber, thanks for being here. Derp, who was in here, provided some really interesting ideas as well, I noticed today, which is very welcome. I appreciate it. And Wizards and Warp Drives was also here. So thank you for all of your comments, people in the chat. Really did help move things along. We've got a lot of ideas, way too many for me to be able to process. I am definitely feeling it. Anyway, wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.